What's good, y'all? Molly Qerim has finally revealed the reason why she decided to walk away from ESPN's First Take after 10 years. And it has a lot to do with how much she was being paid, man. She feels like she was being lowballed on her salary that she was making every year on ESPN's First Take. So let me read y'all this article. It says Molly Qerim's abrupt departure not only from the First Take show she co-hosted with Stephen A. Smith for 10 years, but the ESPN network came a big surprise. The Emmy Award winner's real salary was likely a big reason for her exit, as it is being reported. The 41-year-old, hold on, y'all, Molly Qerim is 41? I think she looks incredible to be 41 years old, man. Molly look good, bro. She's taking good care of herself, or maybe she had surgery. If she did, shout out to her surgeon. Either way, Molly look fine as hell to me, bro. She don't look 41 at all. I think she still looks like she's like 32, 33. You feel me? She looks real good for her age. So it says the 41-year-old Qerim's contract was up at the end of the year, and negotiations to expand her role within ESPN broke down, and she decided to leave immediately. She didn't even get to break her own news, however, which was disappointing to her. She wrote an emotional note she shared on Instagram after it all went down. She said, "To my First Take family, after much reflection, I've decided it's time to close this incredible chapter and star away from First Take. Hosting this show has been one of the great honors of my career." Qerim did her first gig, hosted a Q&A with UConn Huskies men's basketball coach Dan Hurley on October 1st, where she posted her first photo in fit since leaving ESPN. While an ESPN exec revealed the real reason she left from her perspective, it appears to be more of a PR spin. Qerim's former colleague Marcellus Wiley, who co-hosted the show Sports Nation with her on ESPN, had more of the dirt. However, on his podcast, More to It, Wiley said Qerim definitely felt disrespected, that Stephen A. Smith is making $21 million a year with his new 5-year contract, and other female talent on the network like Malika Andrews and Mina Kimes making the 7 figures. Wiley said Molly wasn't getting what she wanted, and that reportedly she's making around $500,000 a year. Wiley would go on to say that Qerim wanted to host other shows, even her own show, but the network wasn't having it. That wasn't happening. Well, hold on. If Molly Qerim, after being on First Take for 10 years, ESPN for 10 years, if she wanted to, host her own show, or basically get a promotion, right? If she wanted to take a bigger role on ESPN, I think that she deserves it. She may not, she may have flaws, right? I do think Carrie Champion was better at her job than Molly was, but at the end of the day, Molly's been around for a decade, and if she wanted to, host other shows or have her own show, I think she should have at least been given the opportunity, right? Like, if she gets the opportunity and the show doesn't do that well, like the ratings are bad, okay, after a year or two, get rid of it. But they should have at least gave her the opportunity to do that, because if you really think about it, she's been in the same situation on ESPN forever. We never really got to see her really do anything else but be the moderator on First Take, which is kind of weird, because usually as time goes on, you get given, bigger roles and bigger opportunities. And Molly Qerim, unfortunately, she didn't get that. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, Marcellus Wiley says that wasn't happening. They weren't signing off on her doing her own show or other shows at the network. Wiley said before, adding that Molly finally woke up and said enough is enough. He also talks about how her relationship with Smith wasn't great, because he has the kind of pull that would have gotten her paid what she wanted to keep her there. Here's the full podcast that aired in September. Okay. Whatever went down, Qerim was clearly lowballed and underpaid at around $500,000 a year, and decided she wasn't going to stand for it. Now, I agree with Marcellus Wiley, right? Stephen A. Smith, who probably is the most powerful person that works for ESPN right now, if Molly Qerim talked to Stephen A. Smith and expressed, how she's not happy with what she's getting paid, Stephen A. Smith, who's making over $20 million a year now with this new deal that he has with ESPN, I do believe that Stephen A. Smith has the power to help Molly get her own show and to ultimately, make more money on her salary that she gets paid every year on ESPN. The fact that didn't happen, maybe Stephen A. Smith was tired of Molly being the moderator for First Take, because remember, Molly has a bad habit of cutting people off on First Take. And I think she really used to annoy Stephen. Not just Stephen A. Smith. I think she used to kind of annoy everybody that was on First Take, because she would always cut people off and insert her opinion when we're not really there to hear Molly's opinion, right? We're here to hear Stephen A. Smith's opinion or the other co-host's opinion. You feel me? But I don't have a problem with Molly, giving her perspective. But she would literally choose the worst time possible to cut somebody off and say what she wanted to say. And it was annoying, but after a while, I kind of got used to it. It didn't really bother me as time went by. But I definitely think that Molly deserved to get paid more than $500,000 per year. If that's true, bro, I definitely agree that ESPN was lowballing her, 100%. So where she will end up and how much she gets remains to be seen. That's pretty much it, man. Listen. Shout out to Molly. I'm very interested to see what she does next. I think she should start her own YouTube channel, start a podcast, and I think she should start a podcast where she brings athletes on her show to talk sports. She could find a co-host and have a show where she interviews basketball players, NFL players, NASCAR drivers, guys like Lewis Hamilton. And I think that she should prove what she's worth by just starting her own thing. I think realistically, she's going to end up working for another company, right? Like she might go to Fox Sports, or, she might end up, taking a job as a host on another show for another network. But I would like to see Molly Qerim, start a YouTube channel, start a podcast, and, find a good co-host and start having shows. You feel me? Or, hey, what if Molly could, what if she goes on Stephen A. Smith's show and she becomes the co-host on Stephen A. Smith's podcast? You feel me? Like, because that's Stephen A. Smith's own thing. Like, his podcast on his YouTube channel, that's his own thing. You feel me? Or shit, have Molly go on It Is What It Is with Cam and Mace. I know Treasure Wilson is already there, but they could bring on Molly to be, a part-time host on It Is What It Is with Cam and Mace. I think that would be a great look for Molly. You feel me? Like, It Is What It Is a very successful podcast in the sports field. You feel me? Cam and Mace are pretty much let her do her thing. And I think that'll be a good look for Molly, man. So I'm interested to see what Molly does. I'm disappointed in ESPN for not, paying her what she should have been paid and giving her an opportunity to grow. Like, when you really look at the situation for what it is, ESPN pretty much stunted her growth. They didn't really give her an opportunity to grow or evolve or show that she has different stripes to her game. You feel me? She pretty much did the same thing the entire time she was on ESPN, and I don't think that's fair. That's probably why Kerry Champion ended up leaving, First Take to go do other things. You feel me? So let me know what y'all think about this, man. This your boy Wavy. Stay Wavy TV. Make sure y'all subscribe, thumbs up the video, leave a comment. Do you guys think Molly should have been getting paid more than $500,000? Let me know in the comment section. The fact that Stephen A. Smith is making $20 million a year or more, and Molly was only getting $500K, she couldn't even get paid at least $1 million a year. I think that's fucked up, bro. I'm sorry. Listen, is Stephen A. Smith way more talented than Molly Qerim? Yes. Has he put more work into Molly Qerim? Yes. But at the end of the day, bro, she was the moderator on ESPN First Take, which is Stephen A. Smith's show. She was the moderator for like damn near 10 years, bro. She should have been given the chance to have her own show and do other things on ESPN, bro. That's just facts. You feel me? Thank you guys for watching. I'm out.